In this video, we're going to talk about how your kids are always listening to you, even when it seems like they're not.
I loved the teenage years because they all were in different sports and activities, and I always had all their friends over to my house, and I loved having teenagers, except when I didn't.
Absolutely. I felt the same way. Teenagers are a lot of fun. Teenagers they are experiencing so much and they're so excited about life, and they can be. Everything is extreme when you're a teenager. Like if you're excited, you're really excited, and then if you're bummed, you're like really bummed. So teenagers, just there's no in between. Um, but I feel like sometimes it can feel like they're not listening. Sometimes it feels like teenagers aren't listening, and it's been my experience that they are. Teenager, like especially with me, I'm sure there were times, especially during wrestling season, that it felt like I was not listening and that I didn't hear you, but I was. I was always listening. Teenagers are always listening. They might not really believe you until they get out of the house. There may have been things that you taught me that at the time I didn't much care. But then as I became adult, like you have those things that like, okay, yeah, I'm hearing it now. Like I'm hearing it now. And then starting to hear myself say some things that I know are from you. Like I don't know how many times this week I've said to Finley, is this a problem or an inconvenience? I'm like, that's just straight out of my mom's mouth.
I I had read some Reader's Digest article about, is it a problem or an inconvenience? A problem is a lump in your breast, an inconvenience is a lump in your oatmeal. So I told the kids all this. And I can remember, I don't know if you remember this. One day I was getting y'all in the van, and I shut the door, and I broke my nail, and your brother's like, "Mom, is that a problem or an inconvenience?" Like, okay, yeah, I know it's just an inconvenience, but I thought, they're listening. I always know when they use it on me, I know they heard me.
I know, and you don't like it. You don't like it in the moment.
I'm like, okay, yeah, it's an inconvenience, but hey, they're getting it.
Oh, I remember one of those when I repeated your words back to you and you didn't like it. I don't know if you didn't like it. It didn't seem like you liked it. I remember having a conversation. So when I was applying to colleges, and I I really liked this girl in Missouri that I met on the internet, and I had applied to two schools in Missouri, the town that she was going to school in Columbia, Missouri, and you really wanted me to apply to some schools in Oregon. And
I wanted you to have a backup plan.
and for me, in my mind, I was thinking, I really like this girl and I want to marry her. I I know this, and I am not going to leave myself another option. Like I'm not going to apply. I remember making the decision I'm not going to apply anywhere in Oregon because I I know how hard this relationship is now, being long distance. If I'm the next 4 years in Oregon, I don't know if I could. I don't know how to sustain that relationship. Like I know what I want to do. I want to marry this girl, and because I know, and so I remember telling you. I remember we were hanging out.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
And you were saying like you don't have to go to any of the schools in Oregon, just apply. Because both of my brothers went to Oregon State. You get like the family discount or something. And there was another school that you wanted me to apply to. And it was good idea. I probably should have. But I remember telling you, saying, Mom, you've always told us the most important decision you ever make in your life is who you spend your life with. And I've made that decision. And so this college decision is not as important. And I'm going to go to Missouri and I'm going to marry her.
Oh no, what was my response? I'm scared now.
You didn't say a word. It was silence. Complete
Oh, good.
silence.
That's probably what I was thinking.
But
Everyone
the look
says,
on your face.
don't ever gamble. You do not have a poker face. And if it's silent, it probably shouldn't be something you should
You
say.
did not have a poker face. You looked hurt. You looked hurt. And I think some of that is like, well, I mean, no one wants to hear that their kid is going to move 2,000 miles away, especially your youngest. Is going to move 2,000 miles away to take a gamble on a girl they met on the internet.
Well, and your brothers were really concerned that, especially when you were a senior in high school and she was a freshman, they didn't want you to get hurt. They're like, oh yeah, she's some hot chick in college. Come on, Doug. They were worried about you, too. But yeah. Yeah. We all lived through it.
But here's the thing. The advice that you gave me was right. It was the most important decision I made, and it was more important than where I went to college. And we got married, and here we are. We've been married almost 14 years.
And he's still 2,000 miles away from his mama.
And I'm still 2,000 miles away.
Praise the Lord for the internet.
That's true. So when you tell when you give advice to your kids, sometimes it might bum you out that they follow that advice. Because they might follow that advice and you're like, that's not how I meant that.
Not in this situation. Well, I do remember telling them the most important decision you'll make is who you marry, because that's who you're going to live with. You can always get a different job. You can always get a different car. But those are decisions. That was good advice.
Well, and at the moment, I could see in your mind, you're like, how do I take this advice back? No, that's advice for when you're in your 20s, not when you're 17. Thank you for watching. Check out the description of this video for any worksheets that go with it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content like this.